Hello painters, how are you? In this video we are going to learn how to paint neutral tones more colorful. Let's go! Okay, I am going to use this paper because it's great for oils and it has wonderful texture. So I am going to make a grid because I want the proportions to be exact. So I have my grid, it's a large grid. If you see here, I just divided by 4, but in the center part I have divided by 8. So I have a smaller grid in the center part to make the face a little easier. By the way, I didn't say before, but I am using grid. That allows you to make some custom grids. For example, you can add as many grids as you like for your paintings. Now that I have my image, I'm going to duplicate this and edit this to have some better comprehension of the overall. Just for the shapes. With this picture I am going to see clear the shapes, and with this picture I am going to see what tones and what values I need to use. The first thing I like to do is to paint the eyes. For the eyes I am going to premix my colors first in my palette. Let me show you. Okay, I am going to premix the colors for the eyes. And for the blacks, I am going to use the Ox Purple with some Tallow Green. These two are going to make some intense black. And now I am going to start with the eyes and the nose. So I am going to start with the iris, more or less. We can detail it later. If you notice that you can see the paper, those little dots, you can use a bit of thinner and the paint will be more fluid. I'm going to add some of the black that we have prepared before. And because of my colorful style, I am going to exaggerate some tones that I can see that are a bit shy. And now I am going to add the highlights. Just a dot here, same here. I am adding some colors to the highlights, and I'm going to do the same with yellow, just below. And now I'm going to do the same with the nose. I'm going to start from the darkest part. This part from here is super dark. I am using here some the Ox Purple with magenta. And this part in the center is going to be a bit cooler. For that I am using straight blue. And now the part from the nose is also gray or blackish, but it's going to be warmer. Why? Because I want to make the contrast with this part from here. And so, switching between warm, cool, maybe warm, darker, warm, cool, we have a nice range of blacks or dark paint with some chroma, with some color. And it blends because it's all in a la prima method, all in one go, the whole painting in one go, so it's going to look natural. I am going to use the same pink here. I am going to make some blacks. First, the darkest one with the purple, with some phthalo green or with red. It also works pretty fine. This is going to be our darkest black. Now I'm going to do another one with some magenta, some green. They complement each other, so it's going to be some neutral, but with a bit of white. So we are going to have some purplish, blue, and this is going to be our second black. We have our cool, super cool, and one super black. I am going to need some warm black, and instead of magenta I am using some lighter red. This is going to create some burnt sienna like paint. So I can see the warm tones here. In cats, this part is usually pink under the nose, so even though I don't see that on the photo, I am going to add some red tones here. But here I am not seeing any red, I am seeing some blue. We have the same value as you can see, but with some cool tones. And this way we are adding different colors to the black cat. And this is the standard method to paint some realistic cat, but fun. This little red hair from the chin. I am using some of the mixtures that I did for the eyes as tints for our blacks, because this way we are going to have more color variety. Some green here. Let's lighten this a bit. With the same brush that has some green light paint, I am going to take some more to make the lightest parts. We can start also making the dark ones, but I don't know, I just have some of this paint in the brush and it's okay. You can start where you want. And with the same orangey tone we have made for this part, I am going to paint this because this is clearly orange. This is clearly warm. Okay, I have made this tone for the background, which is going to suit, I think, super nice. And I also like to hide some texture in some parts. For example, we have rough texture here and super flat one here in the top part, because this way we have parts with empty spaces where our eyes can rest, and another parts with some harder textures and more busier textures in general. I am going to repeat some edges because if you focus on the picture you can see that it has some quite long hair. Which I think is pretty interesting because we are working alla prima, and working alla prima lets you mix like this. And this also adds some depth. Going to add the whisk. Because we have our base white, we can just scratch the paper and it will be quite visible. Not much because it's tinted with the pigment, as you can see. Here we can see some green, and be careful because this is going to tint a lot. Because you can see the painterly effect on them, and it's perfect. And now this is done, painted in oil paper. It has some nice texture. I love this texture. So, future Ally here with my trusty mic. I have seen a huge error, mistake on my cat painting, and I need to correct it. Let me show you. It hasn't the eyes aligned. The black cat clearly needs some correction, so let me do that. And now I can clearly see that this eye is a bit higher. No more touchy. And now, yes! Of course, it has an eye a bit higher than the other one, but it's because all the head is twisted. You can see that one ear is a bit higher too, and it's okay. I'm going to show you some finished pictures on the screen. So, thank you all for coming with me and for staying with me in this tutorial, in this cat tutorial. I hope you have enjoyed and learned something new, and see you in the next video. Bye!